West Asia conflict is now entering a dangerous new phase, with direct and escalating threats between the United States and Iran raising fear of a wider regional war. Now, US President Donald Trump has issued a strong ultimatum warning that if Iran does not fully reopen the Strait of Hormuz within 48 hours, the United States could strike and obliterate Iran's key power and energy infrastructure. Now, viewers, Tehran has responded with sharp retaliation warnings. Iran's Revolutionary Guards have made it clear if its energy facilities are targeted, not only will the Strait of Hormuz be completely closed, but energy infrastructure in countries hosting US bases will be targeted as lawful targets. Now, viewers, in another chilling warning, Iran has said that companies linked to US interest could face complete destruction if the conflict escalates further. Now, this marks a significant escalation as the conflict is no longer confined to direct strikes but now threatens global energy networks, commercial interest and critical infrastructure across the region. Now, viewers, at the heart of this crisis lies the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most critical oil transit routes, through which a significant portion of global energy supply passes. And any disruption here has already begun to rattle global markets, pushing oil prices higher and raising concerns over supply shocks. Meanwhile, military activity on the ground is also intensifying, with missile strikes, drone attacks and increased deployment of US forces in the region, signaling rising preparedness for a potential escalation. And viewers, Iran has also warned that retaliation could extend to US-linked infrastructure across West Asia, including energy, technology and even water facilities. And the big question now, is this strategic brinkmanship or the beginning of a full-scale regional conflict with global consequences?
A day after U.S. President Donald Trump wrote that he was considering winding down American attacks on Iran, he stepped up his rhetoric, on Saturday posting an ultimatum to Tehran saying it had 48 hours to reopen a key shipping route or he would bomb their power plants. Trump made the threat as U.S. Marines and heavy landing craft continued to head to the region. Iran's Revolutionary Guards on Sunday responded that their country would completely close the Strait of Hormuz if Trump carried out his threat to attack their power sector, and threatened strikes on U.S. infrastructure as well as energy and desalination facilities in the Gulf if its power plants were attacked.
An
Iranian military spokesperson on Sunday said the country had launched missiles and drones at American bases in UAE and Kuwait. The Defense Department over the weekend released footage it said showed continuing strikes on Iranian targets. The war on Sunday entered its fourth week. It began when the U.S. and Israel launched joint attacks on Iran on February 28th. More than 2,000 people have been killed. The conflict has upended markets, spiked fuel costs, sparked global inflation fears, and convulsed the post-war Western alliance. Iranian retaliation against U.S. Gulf allies and bases has effectively closed the Strait of Hormuz, a narrow choke point that carries around a fifth of global oil and liquefied natural gas supplies. That closure has caused the worst oil crisis since the 1970s.